Most people think they understand their blood type. A, B, O. Just a simple letter on a medical chart, something only useful in emergencies. But what if I told you that your blood type might quietly influence things happening inside your body every single day, and most people have never been told this? And even more interesting, some of these effects are still debated in science, but others are already well documented. So the real question is, what is actually true? And what have we misunderstood for decades? Before we go deeper, let me introduce myself. My name is Flory, and welcome to Healthy Body Science. Here, the goal is simple: to make complex biology easy to understand and actually useful in real life. If you enjoy this kind of content, you can subscribe. It's completely free. But for me, it truly makes all the difference. And in today's video, you might discover something about your body you've never thought about before. Now let's start with something simple. When you hear blood type, you probably think of transfusions, nothing more. Type O is universal donor, type AB is universal receiver, and RH factor only matters in pregnancy. And that's usually where the story ends. But here's the question that changes everything. If it's only a medical label, why does research keep finding small differences between blood types in everyday health? And that's where things start to get interesting. Because your blood type is not just a label, it's a set of tiny markers on your cells, and those markers may influence how your body behaves. But here's the important part. It does not determine your health, it does not predict your future. Instead, it slightly changes how your body responds, and that subtle difference is where everything begins. Imagine your red blood cells as millions of tiny floating spheres. On their surface are small structures called antigens. Think of them like biological tags. Type A has A tags, type B has B tags, type AB has both, type O has none. And here's the key question. Why would tiny surface tags matter at all? Because they interact with your immune system, your blood proteins, and even bacteria. And this interaction can slightly influence how your body reacts over time. Here's something important most people misunderstand. Blood type does not directly cause disease. Instead, it slightly changes the way your body responds to situations. For example, some blood types may clot a little faster, others a little slower. Some may react more strongly to certain infections. Others may be slightly more protected. And here's the key idea: small differences that only become visible over time. But what does that actually look like in real life? Let's break it down. Type O. Type O has no A or B antigens. This means your blood tends to clot slightly more slowly. At first glance, that might sound good, and in some cases, it is. Some studies suggest a slightly lower risk of clot-related conditions, but here's the trade-off almost nobody talks about. Slower clotting can also mean slower stopping of bleeding after injury, and there's more. Some research links type O with a higher susceptibility to certain gut bacteria. But here's the question. Is that a real risk or just a statistical pattern? Let's continue. Type A. Type A blood tends to clot more easily. And now the important question is, what happens when blood clots a little more easily? In a modern lifestyle where people sit more than ever. Some studies suggest a slightly higher risk of circulation-related issues over time. But here's the key point. This is not destiny, it's about conditions. So the real question becomes, what changes reduce that risk the most? And the answer is simpler than most people expect. Movement. Type B blood has its own unique markers. Some studies suggest a tendency toward higher inflammatory responses in certain situations, but here's where it gets misunderstood. Inflammation is not always bad, it is part of your defense system. The issue is balance. So the real question is, how do you keep that balance stable over time? And that's where lifestyle becomes more important than genetics. Type AB, the rarest common blood type. It combines A and B characteristics. And because of that, some studies suggest slightly different patterns in circulation and cognition later in life. But here's the key uncertainty. Science is still exploring this group, which means we know some patterns exist, but not exactly why. And that uncertainty is important because it prevents us from making absolute conclusions. Now let's talk about something separate but important, the Rh factor, positive or negative. If you are Rh negative, you lack a specific protein on your blood cells. In everyday life, this usually doesn't matter, but in pregnancy, it can become important. And here's the reassuring part. Modern medicine already has a simple, effective prevention. So this is not something to fear, just something to understand. So after all of this, what does your blood type actually mean? It does not define your health. It does not control your future, but it may offer small clues. And those clues can help you make better long-term decisions. Movement, nutrition awareness, regular checkups, and lifestyle balance. Because the real impact is not in one day, but across years. Think of your blood type as the baseline settings of a complex machine. While you cannot change the hardware you were born with, you have total control over the software, your habits. Most people live their entire lives in the dark, reacting to symptoms rather than understanding their source. But when you identify these genetic markers, you stop guessing and start navigating. Every meal you eat and every hour of sleep you get is a signal sent directly to your cells. These signals tell your body whether to store fat or burn it, whether to increase inflammation or heal it. Your blood type provides the context for how your body interprets those signals. It's the difference between driving a car with a map and driving one completely blind. By understanding these subtle biological nuances, you aren't just surviving. You are building a personalized blueprint for longevity. This isn't just data. It's the power to influence your own evolution from the inside out. Your body is not fragile, it is adaptable, and your blood type is only one small piece of a much bigger system. What matters most is how you take care of that system over time, because biology is not about fate, it's about response. So when you hear blood type again, don't think of a label. Think of a signal, a small piece of information about how your body behaves under certain conditions. And the real question becomes, what else about your body are you not fully aware of yet? If you found this helpful, this is exactly what we do here on Healthy Body Science. We turn complex biology into simple, practical understanding. If this deep dive into biological mechanics has helped you understand your body differently, consider subscribing to Healthy Body Science. It's free, and it really helps me continue creating videos that look at the mechanics of the human body rather than just chasing trends.